Fellas, when was the last time you felt yourself down there? No, not like that. I mean really felt yourself. Did you know that one man every hour of every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? It's the leading cancer in men aged 15 to 35. That's why, as part of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, we're encouraging all of our male listeners to check their balls. Don't worry if you've never touched them that way before. It takes 60 seconds and you could do it in the shower. For more information, head to manscaped.com, click on the Cause tab and check out the advice in partnership with the Testicular Cancer Society. If you fancy treating your nads to something special while you're there, head to the store where you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code MOP20. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code MOP20. With collaborations and support from the Manscaped community, we can increase social awareness, raise much needed funds for cancer research, and provide the right support to save lives and balls.
Welcome to another episode of the Miles Offside podcast, where we talk a little bit of football and a whole lot of nonsense. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Footy from Afar, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mr. 99.3624897%, and super producer Ian Stimson. Chuck, did you know that I'm making up the decimal places every single week, and they may or may not be accurate?
You know what? It literally, yes.
There you go. It may have gone up or down from last week. I'm genuinely not sure.
Who knows? Some pedant will write in, send another raven to Ian's store. Really, he's cleaning bird shit daily, guys. He doesn't need it. All right, stop sending ravens to Peterborough.
Just don't. We did get fact check on something, didn't we?
Oh yeah. The American Bolton player that Oscar made up, and I didn't feel confident enough to correct him because I didn't know. Because I thought if it was going to be about a club like Bolton, Oscar must have done his research because he I'm surprised he even heard of it. And I'm also annoyed at myself for not coming up with Ryan Mason. That was a much more prolific and recent example of players who retired due to head injuries. So Tom Townley, I think, checked us on that. Bolton fan.
So cheers on that, thank you. The one time Bolton comes up and he's like, nope, we're fact checking that shit.
And this is why we stick to Premier League.
In my defense, this was two blonde-haired, medium-length-haired gentlemen within 4 years of each other, American, up-and-coming, making a name for themselves, who had to retire around the same time early because of injuries. So, I don't know, it's like not super far off, I'm just saying.
Did you say they both now act as pundits as well and like US
Yes,
broadcasters?
that's right, yeah. They both back and forth between like ESPN and Fox. They both have worked for both? Or, I don't know. Apparently I can't tell them apart, so maybe it's just one guy. It might just be one dude.
Blonde, white dudes and teams that begin with W, all the same.
Yeah, there you go. Ian, dare I ask how are things going on Posh Island?
It was fine, but we did lose against Shrewsbury.
You lost to COVID FC. Fucking hell. I'm surprised you played them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there are still League One games getting cancelled, as I'm sure you can imagine. But yeah, I mean, holding firm in the playoffs. But yeah.
Well, it's all you can ask for. Staying somewhere around the mid-table in the conversation, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, at your age, holding firm, that's pretty good. So,
I will take it.
Absolutely. Banter section complete.
There it is. All right, well, if you are joining us for the first time, we are one American and two Brits, and we try to talk about soccer, but we mostly go off track, and we like to start things off every week with our famous rapid fire news. Our top story this evening, Manchester United say they are disgusted after Axel Tuanzebe and Anthony Martial were racially abused on social media by mindless idiots after Wednesday's loss to Sheffield United. United midfielder Scott McTominay wrote on social media that he was disgusted with what I have read this morning. Club captain Harry Maguire added, United against racism, we will not tolerate it. Gentlemen, another week, another racism story.
And yeah, it's not even just those two. Marcus Rashford put stuff out today. He wanted to try and rise above it even more by not posting it directly as what was said or screenshots or anything. But you're like, for fuck's sake, mate, like, Yeah.
Yeah, exasperation, I think, is about the right sentiment, so let's just go ahead and move on to the next story. Our next story. Chelsea say they are disgusted after right-back Reece James was racially abused on social media. James, 21, posted a screenshot of racist messages he had received via Instagram on Friday with the caption, "Something needs to change." Chelsea said in a statement, "This club finds racism and all forms of discriminatory behavior completely unacceptable. We totally condemn it." Gentlemen, another week, another racism story.
Yeah. People wonder why this keeps getting brought up and players keep taking the knee.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So are we ready to stop taking the knee yet? Or it sounds like we might need to maybe continue for a little bit longer? I don't know.
I think it maybe needs to carry on. Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to our next story. Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford says he was subjected to humanity and social media at its worst after receiving racist abuse on Saturday. The 22-year-old, who was awarded the MBE for his work fighting child food poverty, received multiple racist messages on Instagram on Saturday. They were sent to the England striker after a 0-0 draw with Arsenal. "I'm a black man and I live every day proud that I am," he said on Twitter. Chuck, I know you had mentioned it, but this is a separate news story under the BBC, so I thought it deserved its own headline, even though it did come up earlier. Another week, another racist story, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm fine with it getting mentioned again. Not fine with the guy who's literally feeding and working his fucking arse off thousands and thousands of kids, potentially friends of these people that are putting racist abuse on there, that hide behind whatever. The guy, we joke about it, Dr. Marcus Rashford MBE and whatever, but the guy is like...
Yeah.
What?
Imagine that being the person you decide to go for.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just showed, it shouldn't matter who the person is, right? Racism, no matter what.
Yeah. Obviously, that goes without saying. Although, no, not without saying. It should be said, but yes.
And you're like, if these people are even going to attack fucking Marcus Rashford, get the fuck out, man. I'm sick of you. Boil your fucking head.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of get the fuck out, our next story. A man has been arrested after a racist message was sent to West Bromwich Albion midfielder Romain Sawyers. West Brom said the abhorrent message was sent on social media during their loss to Manchester City. A 49-year-old man from Kingswinford near Dudley has been arrested on suspicion of racially abusing the player, West Midlands police said. So, some action. Genuinely action. Another week, another racist story, right? But, this is good.
I guess we can be thankful that one of them was stupid enough to do it with identifying features on his socials, I imagine. Because occasionally you get that golden ticket where one of these idiots does it while showing a picture of them wearing their work pass or something, and you're like, oh, yes, lovely. But, num, num, num. But, yeah, I mean, good thing, I suppose, that someone's been arrested for it. Shame it doesn't happen more often, but there you go.
Yeah, and you do bring up the identity thing, which I think has been part of the debate this week. Was what can't we, it'll help social media, or it'll help Twitter if we just have people use their actual names instead of usernames. This will help stop racism because they can be identified more easily, blah, 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 blah. And I think that while that is a decent start of things, I would simply point to Facebook, where people use their real names. And it is still quite the hotbed of racism and fascism and all the other stuff. So
yeah.
And thinking about it now, it probably wouldn't make a difference because people still, even though they've got their names to it, they still are racist fucking pieces of shit. And we see people, afterwards, there was a video, it wasn't even related to footballers or anything, it was to do with the daily press conferences, and a guy literally filming himself insulting Priti Patel and I can't remember who else, maybe Jonathan Van Tam, using racial slurs like, I'm never going to listen to them, I'm English, I'm in this country, I'm going to listen to white people, blah, 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 blah. And obviously you can imagine the things. His girlfriend sat next to him, disgusted, what the hell, you can't say those kind of things. And then subsequently, obviously, people found him on Facebook, messaged his bosses, this, that, and the other, and he's like, please, guys, please, you're ruining your life. And it's like, well, do you know what?
Never mind.
This is what life is, that you have consequences. And especially, sometimes there are consequences where maybe it's an overreaction for something and it takes time and afterwards it's adjusted and what have you. And then there are certain things where it's like, no, you know what? Go fuck yourself. You've made your bed. If you're going to do that, if you're fucking thick enough as well to be doing it, there's just so many layers of get to fuck with it. So
yeah, and to put a sort of happy cap on it, because I'm sure our listeners have sensed the theme to the rapid fire news this week. But you said that guy I want to listen to England. I'm from England. All about English pride. Well, Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, has called for racist abuse aimed at footballers to stop calling it despicable. Shout out that guy just called despicable by the Prince! He said on Twitter, racist abuse, whether on the pitch, in the stands, or on social media, is despicable and it must stop now. We all have a responsibility to create an environment where such abuse is not tolerated, and those who choose to spread hate and division are held accountable for their actions. That responsibility extends to the platforms where so much of this activity now takes place. I commend all those players, supporters, clubs, and organizations who continue to call out and condemn this abuse in the strongest terms. And I don't think we could put it much better than Prince William himself, so that's a pretty good note to end on. Hopefully a message from someone of power out to the majority of people in the world will have some effect, little by little. Right, guys?
You'd love to think so, but I think it's, there's no one-shot cure-all, and fuck me, it must be hard for these players keep, having to deal with it, and then also going through it again and pushing, and that's why, we're seeing these stories more and more. We've said we'll keep talking about them, and also now something's being done about it, because gradually I think more and more people will go, maybe we do actually have a racism problem in this country. No fucking shit.
Yeah, as these cockroaches come out to the light and are highlighted by things like social media, then, their awareness is known and eradication can begin. No, I don't mean like physical eradication. I mean like the eradication of the racism, just to be clear. I'm not advocating for moving on to the fixtures. Oh, man. All right. Well, there was like 2 weeks worth of games in this last 5 days because it is 2021. So that is just how things go.
How it happens, yeah.
So I figured we could take this a few of the big teams and notable narrative storylines at a time instead of just going match by match. And I'm going to start us off with Manchester United, formerly best team in the world and in Europe and everywhere else. Known to man, we had Manchester United 1, Sheffield United, ruh-roh, 2, Manchester United's 0.99 to Sheffield's 0.69 on XG, so a 1-1 draw, perhaps more indicative, but they lost to fucking Sheffield.
Yeah.
And then today, just to take both matches, or was that yesterday? I think that was yesterday, actually. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0.75 to Manchester United's 1.51, so they probably should have won that one, but they drew to Arsenal.
Wow, is it a festive hangover? Is that it? Is that like they're now carrying a lot of weight from the holidays and they can't shift it, so they're a bit more sluggish?
Don't talk about Bruno Fernandes that way. Come on, man. That's just rude.
Oh, he's never done it against a big club.
Yeah, as how Bruno goes is how Man United goes. He's been a bit of a barren run, a bit of a dry spell. I don't know if his underlying numbers match that, but if you guys are going to throw narrative at me, then fuck you guys. I'm going to go with the narrative on Bruno, which is that he's having a terrible, terrible few weeks, and now we're looking at Manchester United, the mighty Manchester United, down to, what's that, second on the table? Oh, that's not that far down. But the other clubs are starting to catch up.
Were you anticipating that they go down to 10th or something?
I mean, that is how it goes. 2 bad results can take you pretty far down the table these days.
Yeah, true.
It's nice for once when we have takes on teams and mention things and then, we're not completely proved to be fucking idiots by the next time we record.
Well, give it another week and then we will be again.
Yeah, I know, but just from 1 week to the next is just such a victory for me. Really feels like it. Little things, guys, baby steps. Because they didn't have one individual moment of brilliance that led to them getting something. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's anything to do with the kind of penalty things, because they're kind of playing slightly differently a touch now. And the reason they were getting so many penalties was because there were so many threats sprinting into the box at once, and now a lot of teams are backing off more, which is the adjustment to make, rather than just mentioning or moaning constantly, that, VAR is already Manchester, VAR United, or whatever. But the last 2 games, they haven't had those players that have taken a game by the scruff of the neck and managed to pull something out of a hat, like we've had with Fernandes constantly taking 40-yard shots, or Pogba taking 40-yard shots, or what have you. And now you have 2 pretty bleak results, one losing to the quote-unquote worst team in Premier League history. Fair play though to Sheffield United because they battled, they looked different, they were pressing constantly, and so I didn't think that was an undeserved whatever the XG. What was the XG? It was fairly close, wasn't it? It was about a draw.
The Sheffield United one was like 0.9 to 0.7.
Yeah,
like that.
but I mean, if you watch the Ollie Burt goal, like that was precisely summed up the game. Like Sheffield United lost the ball in their box. The keeper slowly passes it out 5 yards. They pass it back to Burke, who's just stood there, has time like 8 yards out from goal to stop, take a touch, eat his dinner, and then just smash it. Like it was so abject, and I'm sure there were tons of Man United fans just screaming at the telly. I wasn't. I was laughing my giddy arse off. But yeah, that's not a good sign. But that's just kind of the thing that we've said, is that they still don't feel like any sort of coherent know what to do, and they went 1-0 down again for the 18th time this season out of 20 games. It's just nice to be proved right.
100%. And you know what my favorite thing about this fucking storyline is? This club? Is that it's all going against the run of XG. I hope he gets fired in 4 weeks after a bunch of unlucky results.
God, you really do pick and choose when to support the stats, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, no. The stats say that this was an unlucky run, and that makes me happier that it's going against the stats. All right, well, sorry to do this to you, Chuck, but next on my rundown is Palace. We had Palace losing to West Ham and beating Wolves. You guys beat Wolves? Oh.
Nope.
What do you mean, no?
I don't know.
You did. I mean, you literally made me check the scoreline. Let me get these scores out. Palace 2, West Ham 3, Palace 0.6 to West Ham's 3.3. Oof, R.I.P. Chuck.
My instant one thing take on that is do not look at the scoreline for how that game was, because it should have been about 8 for West Ham. They were good.
Yeah, 3.3 is a lot of XG. Like, it is quite a lot of XG.
Yeah.
Objectively, that just is a lot of XG.
Just numbers, innit?
Yeah,
integers.
And then you guys beat Wolves today, though. Crystal Palace 1, Wolves 0, Palace 1.4 to Wolves 0.5 on XG. So a comprehensive, genuine victory against the mighty, mighty Wolves. Chuck, that got to feel pretty good, right? As they doing as they things.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm very... I don't know what to feel, because I really want to commit to hating everything.
You can't hate Eze, though.
No, and that's fine. But it's like when then Palace actually do win, I'm like, I should be happy, but I'm not.
The self-loathing.
And I don't want to watch them again until Roy Hodgson's gone. So, yep.
All right, well, tune in next week for one check on Palace Island. All right, Chuck, well, I won't make you linger too long on Palace, then let's go ahead and move on to what is very quickly looking like the actual best team in England and are going to run away with this league, and that is Manchester City. 2 wins, one much more comprehensive than the other. We had West Bromwich Albion 0, Manchester City 5. Wow. 0.6 to 2.3 on XG, so not quite 5 goals on the XG, but a very, very overwhelming performance there.
Yeah, that was good. That was Man City good, goal balls. Hacksaw Jim Gundogan getting 2 goals, apparently being a better striker than any other striker that Man City has. Although Gabriel Jesus then scored a nice goal against Sheffield United. But yeah, this is just City being
only a nice goal because he was allowed 20 minutes to set himself in the penalty area.
I know, he mishit that twice before he could finally get the shot off. It's great.
Just that one shot had 3 XG.
It's like in Rocket League where you miss just slightly to the left or just slightly to the right on purpose so you get a shot on goal before you score. Like an extra shot in your stats.
Wow, that's next level Rocket League. I can't do that.
Bullshit. Don't pretend you're good enough to stat pad in Rocket League.
Well, I was playing 1v1 this morning, so you have a lot more time.
And you also had the other controller.
Yeah, exactly. City, De Bruyne is out. Weren't they supposed to get worse? Didn't we talk about that last week? How they were like, oh, this will be the only way we have a title race because De Bruyne is out.
That's you.
Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah.
Me and Ian were just like, nah, they're fine.
I said we. I'm doubling down.
That's the royal we. Definitely. I'm not having that. I was surprised. I mean, West Brom, fuck. I'd be surprised if Big Sam's still there by the time we get this episode out because they haven't signed players and they're just fucking hell. Like the one game they could have done something from, they like drew with Fulham. I'm really annoyed because Fulham should have won that fucking game. Verdamped.
You're less a Palace fan these days than a Fulham fan, just so as Brighton go down.
Yes, anything, that would be fucking brilliant. Them and Newcastle, fuck off. And West Brom and Sheffield United, they can all go.
West Brom are, for the record, I'm looking at the stats, literally twice as bad as the second worst team by XG goal difference per 90.
Ooh, dear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Minus 1.2 per 90 expected goal difference. Oh.
Jeez.
But City? Yeah?
Yeah, many good. I was surprised that they... Although, again, this does kind of fit the narrative of what I said last week, again, so happy days, is that we said about the year that Liverpool actually won the league, they were less exciting, and now where Klopp comes out and says, can't rotate my players, media and all that, Pep just kind of goes, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll change loads of players, and then we'll score one, and then we'll just chill and just take it easy. Or against West Brom when he made like 3 subs at half time, 2 subs at half time. I think he was bringing on like Laporte for the whole second half or whatever, and just like, man, let's just chill. Let's good vibes and party and just 3 points clear at the top with a game in hand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, did you guys see his interview? I forget where it was. I wish I could credit the person that I saw it through. I retweeted it at some point, but he basically gave like a whole long quote about how like, oh, this is my new tactical system, and I specifically built it to manage minutes and energy around coronavirus problems. And, like, he went into it and explained it. It was a whole thing, and it was, like, really in-depth, and I was like, oh, fuck, like, you're so fucking smart. It's so frustrating. And he is. He's, like, on purpose playing, like, mellow, and is like, I tell them, be centered, be calm, we keep the ball, we win. Like, he's like, yeah, we're so good.
Yeah, it's so weird that it's, like, something like that has to be such a radical thinking. Like, oh, I know what we're going to do. Let's just look at what's going on around us. And then let's like sort our shit out and just adapt to that.
Strange, isn't it?
Mad, and that's meant to be like some sort of football pervert savant that's like that.
Do you think that this will come up more with Chelsea when we get to Tuchel and stuff? But like, do you think that there's a future of like, there's no like starting 11? It should be a starting 17 that just get moved around, or a starting 15 that just get rotated?
Because you can't start with more than 11 players.
You know what I mean.
No, don't.
Your A squad isn't 11 players. Your A squad is 15, and then like you chop and change.
Yeah, you should.
That's not what it is. That's not given. Like, we say that like it seems obvious, but most clubs are like, it's first 11. It's his name on the sheet.
Yeah,
like,
you very much do get a narrative of, even with Lampard recently, of, does he even know his first 11?
Right, exactly. Thank you, Ian. Yes. Thank you, one of you, for acknowledging that I'm not crazy. Do you think it's going to turn into, in a few years, with how many minutes these clubs have to play? Like, it's who are his 15 guys?
I think it has been before, but the problem is that there are some clubs and managers that don't... Like, they get to the point where they have to use players that they wouldn't consider in their starting 11, or even like their starting 13, 15, whatever, because... naturally over the course of the season, because of injuries, etc., you're always going to get rotation. And so rather than do it out of necessity, I think we should see more intelligent managers just doing it out of development and an eye for the future. You know what I mean? Like, rather than having a starting 11, you have your strongest 9, 10 in whatever, and then you pop in one other less person, someone who would come in as a second string almost. Then get more experience in the first team, or a youth player to then build them up. They're not necessarily going to play all the time, and it's not necessarily going to be the same person that gets dropped all the time. But then that way you can bring people in. And then when you do have situations where you have 2, 3 injuries to your starting 11, or hell, even 5, 6, 7, as we've seen before, it's much less of a dip in not necessarily overall quality, but in experience, game time, of knowledge of being in that situation. That just feels like what it should have been for years. And then you also have that players continuously try, and they make more of it, because then they can try to elevate to that position where they're the player that plays 6 out of 7 games rather than the player who plays 2 out of 7 games.
Somebody's been playing FIFA career mode, am I right, Ian? Jeez. Let's move on then. Chuck, you had good points. I'm just jealous that you made such insightful things, so I'm just going to make fun of you and then move on to the next thing, because that's how podcasting works.
Driven by jealousy.
All right, well, let's move on then to the other best team in England. They're having a very, very good week, and that is Liverpool. Liverpool 3, Tottenham 1 on Thursday, January 28th. Liverpool 2.6 to Tottenham 0.1. Ooh, garbage.
Wait, what?
I know. And much worse for Tottenham's Kane is out, but I don't actually want to talk about them because they're fucked without Kane. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1, so another 3-1. Liverpool 2.1 to West Ham's 0.9 on XG. So 2 solid wins against 2 solid teams. Are they, they're up to 4th in the table. The table's a bunch of bullshit because West Ham are 5th, whatever. But Liverpool gonna give City a race.
More than half the season, Oscar. Can we continue to say that the table's complete bullshit?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Do you genuinely believe that West Ham are the 5th best team in England? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm going to sort
by
what
I think it shows.
Points, and they are. Oh yeah, to be fair, they're 9th.
Shut up, Chuck. What I'm suggesting is that over the last 21 games, they've been the 5th best team.
Numbers.
Oh, okay.
Facts.
Oh, okay. You are suggesting that. I mean, I guess that's a fundamental difference. Fuck Liverpool. That's not even interesting. Let's talk about this. Are we having a conversation when people say how do I say this? I don't think the table tells us who the best teams are. I think the table, at least at this point in the season, tells us who's accumulated the most points, part of that being...
Yes, it does, yes.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I don't read into it too much, though.
Always what the table says, doesn't it? What?
I've angered the beast.
And then at the end, who's got the most points is literally in a trophy ceremony, proclaimed even, immortalised as the best team that year.
No, I was aware what I was doing by asking the question because...
Oscar doesn't live in reality.
Because, Oscar is someone who has written off the Liverpool title-winning season as, well, Man City were better, so it doesn't matter. So
100%,
I was aware.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's hilarious. No, but, genuinely, I'm not trying to, no riling each other up and shit. Do you, because you guys do believe in the table more than I do, do you genuinely think that West Ham are the 5th best team in the league so far? I'm not even trying to be an asshole. I want to know if you guys genuinely believe that so that I can adjust my conversations with you going forward.
No, I just think it is. I tell you what it is. And again, this is what we've said from the beginning. It's just about being consistent this year because it's a fucking mess. Because teams keep falling over each other and going on runs one way or the other. West Ham had 5 wins on the bounce. That's deserving then of where they are. Of course, does that then necessarily mean that they'll shake down a little bit down the league? Potentially. But look at Man City. We were joking. It wasn't that long ago. I think it was 8 games maybe. We're they've scored the same number of goals as Palace. They're way down there. They were bottom half of the table almost.
The same number of goals as Calvert-Lewin at the time we joked.
Yeah, exactly. And then... all of a sudden, they string in these 1-0 and easy wins. They get, 6? I think it's 7 out of 8 clean sheets in the league in a row now. With Ruben Diaz, John Stones, or whichever defender Pep wants to rotate in that week. And then they've just drilled out those wins to go all of a sudden, ding, there we go. We're 3 points clear and a game in hand at the top.
I think I just worry that people...
They've only conceded 13 fucking goals. Jesus,
well,
I've just seen that.
Well, they have the underlying numbers. Chuck City are the best team, actually. That's the fucking difference. I just think that people misunderstand the word lucky when I call something lucky for either unintentional or accidental or anything like that. A beautiful, fucking stunning, curling effort from 40 yards out or 30 yards out that is the best goal of the season and we all praise it, is intentional. That soccer player kicks the ball, meaning for it to end up in the top corner, right? And sometimes it does. Approximately, depending on the range, we noticed this during the Palace match, about 1 in 100 times from 30 yards out, right? That perfect spot for the long-range effort. So, yes, he meant it. That doesn't mean he wasn't fucking lucky that it ended up exactly in the top corner this time as opposed to the other 99 times. Do you know what I'm saying? And to me, West Ham are the beautiful curling free kick. Like, they happen to be in 5th, but I don't think that, like...
Yeah.
And they mean to be in 5th. Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
I think, as well, the problem is... Well, not the problem, but your language when you frame the question is so broad of, do you think West Ham are the 5th best team? Well, no. I don't... no one thinks West Ham are the 5th best team. But, yeah, maybe we do put a bit more on the league than you do because you... are a stats man. But,
we converge by about game week 30. I'm like, yeah, the table is the truth, or it's enough of the truth that that's what matters at this point. But like, we're not there yet.
But no, when you're asking the broad question, are West Ham the 5th best team in the country? No, obviously they're not. But you've got to give them props for being there right now. You've got to win games.
Yeah,
fair. And 5 on the bounce is quite a lot.
Well, it wasn't 5 on the bounce, but I got that wrong. It was 4 in the bounce. 4 in the bounce. 2 clean sheets. Then before that, they had 2 draws. They'd lost to Chelsea before that, and then another draw and a win. So what's that? Some points in some games.
Yeah, lots of unbeaten.
But it's just they had a run. Like we said with Lampard when he finally learned how to. That fleeting moment where he learned how to win games and keep clean sheets.
That fleeting moment of 2 months straight without losing.
Nope. Don't believe that's what I said either. But they had Brighton, Southampton, Everton, Burnley, West Brom, Palace. Now, any team in and around that area, a lot of those teams you're competing with, or they are below you. And they didn't lose a single one of those games. They won 4, they drew 2. And they were the better performing team as underlying numbers in 5 out of 6 of those games. So, it is what it is, mate. It's all just strings of 5, 6 games, but they just all add up to all the games by the end of the year. And whoever gets the most points is the winner.
That is actually like the most beautiful way I've heard a season described. Is just strings of 5 games at a time, and then at the end, someone's declared a winner. I like that. That was very poetic, Chuck. All right, well, let's wrap things up then with the newest, shiniest, most exciting maybe team in the league, and that is my beloved Chelsea. Tuchel's Chelsea, perhaps. Chelsea boring 0-0 draw to Wolves, and then a 2-0 win to Burnley. Honestly, at this point, and I've said this on Twitter, and I don't think you guys believe me, but I'm going to say it on the air as well. I am not about where we finish on the table anymore. You don't change managers halfway through the season and then get salty if you finish 6th. I mean, many Chelsea fans will, but I won't, right? Like, at this point, if we start seeing some ideas, if we start seeing some stuff shine through of Tuchel's version of Chelsea, especially, within the next, month, if it really starts looking different, that would be great. But wherever we end up is just fucking gravy. And these were boring games to watch. These guys are figuring it out still.
Relegated? What if you get relegated?
Okay, well, I think that would be a bigger problem.
So there is... Cool. No, just like to know the parameters.
Fine, okay, fine. The bottom level, not below 15th. Let's say that.
Whoa, big city.
That's where Newcastle are. I mean, come on, that's big dreams.
No, I mean, we're going to drop points over the next month. That first match, they had all the possession against Wolves. Didn't Kovacic have more passes than the entire Wolves team or something like that? Maybe it was Jorginho.
Probably.
I don't know.
Wolves looked fucking shit and then followed it up by losing to Palace. So, Jesus Christ, if I'm a Wolves fan, I'm like...
But for all of the ball, Chelsea didn't seem to be, didn't know what to do with it. They reverted almost to Sarri ball, because that was the last time they played a system that had a lot of possession. But, it didn't look like a Tuchel team or anything. Today was a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I can definitely fucking tell you I'm excited. I did a ton of reading about Tuchel. I might do a Patreon pod at some point this week if my work week isn't too busy. Breaking down all about what can Chelsea fans expect from Tuchel, because I've done a fucking ton of reading about it. I think that there's a lot of possibility. I think that there are some pieces here that fit what he wants. I think one specific name to look out for is going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi. He is known for coming into a club, taking a young player, making them a star in a role that they weren't used to playing, and he's been playing him at wingback and has been going really well.
Well, Callum Hudson, oh boy.
Yeah, good.
And then you can stop talking about how he's not worth $200K a week, Chuck. So,
no, I'm not saying. No. He can be, but it's just at that point, a lot of dollar.
You're his expected salary is low given his age and playing time and contributions. He's overperforming his salary.
His contract is overperforming his ex-salary. Yeah.
That's funny. But 30-second spark notes for the Chelsea fans who don't know anything about Tuchel, and you can tune into my Patreon pod, which we might drop for free as a preview thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. A lot of pressing. We're going to see pressing. He's a bit of a Pep plus a Klopp. in that he has a lot of pressing, but he also loves possession, which is where the pep comes in. Also, along pep lines, expect a ton of rotation that will have more impact for FPL managers out there. Do not invest in Chelsea assets. There will be so much rotation. At one point last year, Tuchel played 21 midfields in 26 matches. Don't pick up any of these players.
Not one for the starting 11 then.
Yeah, not one for the starting 11, exactly.
Rudiger.
Expect a lot of flexibility.
Rudiger,
yes. All of the Rudiger that you can afford.
Rudiger to the moon.
Buy and hold to the moon.
Diamond hands.
I've got fucking diamond hands, baby. Hold it, Antonio.
All right, well, yeah, I had other stuff to say about Tuchel, but let's move on.
No, say your Tuchel stuff. We're just doing silly satire. That's all.
Yeah, the only other note was that there's a lot of flexibility. He won't play the same formation and tactics.
You can what? You could that's possible.
Yes, sorry. It's not something you've seen a lot of lately, is it, Chad?
Does not understand.
It does not compute. No, bringing Alonso in instead of Chilwell to play wing back is
it's great. It's hilarious.
Good times.
I mean, that's that rotation I'm telling you about, especially if we're playing every 3 days. There's no way he's just going to play every guy, every position. Like Alonso, we talk shit about Alonso. He's not good as a fullback, but he is a great
wing back. Yeah,
we always said that he should just be moved further and further and further forward, just so that like that part is fine.
The man knows how to score. I mean, Timo should hang out with him for a bit to get a bit of that finishing luck.
Jesus Christ. That guy's had a curse put on him or something.
Yeah.
Something.
He is lacking in confidence, isn't he?
He needs like a rabbit foot. He needs to go see, I don't know, he needs to see someone. Get the bad juju. Like burn some sage or whatever.
It's not fucking... What was the guy who... was it the Fulham manager who said about putting cheese on an injury or something?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What was his name? Felix Magath.
That's it, yeah. That's
Felix
what you
Magath,
reminded
you needed to
me
put
there.
cheese on an injury and then phone your mother by putting and put the phone to your left ear or your right ear specific. This isn't even joke. This isn't even me taking it. This is genuine.
Yeah, this is the sort of exaggeration.
And then that will help with the healing process. Or put like it was something, put it in your sock when you're playing and then it will help it heal.
That's some Guatemalan grandmother shit right there. I'll just tell you that much.
That was horrific. I did see an interesting thing about Chelsea though, and then obviously this applies to the wider realms, and it was Paul Merson actually coming in with something quite astute about Kai Havertz. And
you retweeted that. I saw that. Yeah. What was that about?
Just in general about how it's, we spoke last week about the price tags and players not being able to control that and coming into a situation where it's all weird. And then as we said before about managers adjusting to the world, maybe we should, sometimes we're guilty of it as well and not thinking, you know what, he's a 21-year-old kid who's just moved to a new country. I don't
in the strangest of circumstances.
Exactly in COVID times.
Yeah.
At a time where when you have stuff on your mind, it's very difficult to get out of that funk and be distracted by something. And I thought Paul Merson was fairly insightful when he said this. Sometimes you'll just go, come round to ours for dinner or something, or let's go have a couple of beers, or let's go do something, anything, and be a bit more social. Or, he'd be... potentially you'd fly your mates over from Germany or any of those kind of things, your family. And when those options just aren't available to you, it makes you dwell and sit in what's been going on so long. So I do kind of feel for the guy, and it kind of makes sense that then potentially that is the wider area. And what we have said before as well, that it seems like it's harder for teams to get out of bad runs of forms, much harder than before. And whether... rightly or wrongly, that's attributed to fans being in the stadium or not, or just in general life. We've all kind of felt it. People ask you, "Well, what are you doing today?" Like, fucking nothing. Every day's the same unless you do go out to work or you go to a different area or you do the same walks, and it's the little things that we take for granted. And so, no, I just thought it was quite a good observation. And something to think on and consider when we see these young players not necessarily taken to the league or at the moment like a duck to water.
All right, well, on that note, I think that's a beautiful place to end on for our soccer coverage. So we'll take a quick break for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back after the jump. Support for Miles Offside is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. Manscaped is taking over the world and is now available in all of Europe, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. Now, when I say this is premium, I do mean premium, Chuck.
I'm a premium kind of guy.
I've always said that. Always said that about you.
I've had problems before, where, I've been trying to look after my misters, and it's just been uncomfortable. Other electric trimmers, they're too noisy. I get like little nicks. You're walking around all day like a cowboy afterwards. I'm not about that life, Oscar.
Not anymore.
I have some good news for you, Chuck, because that's exactly why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. That's right, the Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Ian, you have had a chance to introduce yourself to the Lawnmower 3.0.
I have, and just like Chuck says, I think it's a sensitive area. You don't want anything down there that's not quality. There's enough down there that's not quality. And I need to put something down there that is quality. And the lawnmower is something else. The thing I like best, not best, because the best thing I like is exactly what Chuck said, not nicking yourself. That is incredibly important. But the little LED light that lets you just get through the thatch. You can see everything that's happening.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of that. I have to admit, I was a proud owner of the Lawnmower 2.0 well before we had a working relationship with this company. And that did not have the little LED light on it. And so when I busted open the Lawnmower 3.0, it was night and day, let me tell you.
Literally 18 months well spent.
Well, if you want to get in on that action, go ahead and get 20% off and free shipping with the code MOP20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code MOP20. Your balls will thank you.
Welcome back to the Miles Offside podcast, brought to you in partnership with Manscaped. We've done the football chat, and I don't really know if I want to talk about FPL, but we'll talk about FPL.
Ooh, someone hasn't had a good week, I'm taking. I love coming into this blind, because I never know how you guys did, and then I try to guess based off of how you intro the section.
It's hard to know with this week, because there's been so many players out or rotated, or teams where, like, some people are going like 3 deep into their bench or beyond. So obviously, they really needed to have a strong 17, starting at 17.
So Ian's beating you then? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he must have beaten me because I had the armband on Cancelo, who didn't play. So that's then going to vice-captain Calvert-Lewin. That was good. My first sub was Tyrick Mitchell, who didn't play a minute. Fucking Hodgson prick. And Palace kept a clean sheet. So I'm getting Kufal off the bench for 1. And Patrick Bamford just sat there, 15 points first sub. Yeah.
Oof.
But you're getting fucking Mr. 541 over here, getting so many points off his bench.
I'm very sorry. Yeah, I am getting 20 points off my bench, which when I came into today, which is Sunday, I came into today with less points on my players that had played than I was getting off my bench.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I've ended on, I think it'll be 59.
Yeah, I'm not far behind. I think I'll be 52. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You break 50 on a bad week, that's not that bad of a week, right?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just not the best.
I was really hoping Son would come through with something though. The Brighton,
yeah, fucking Spurs just shit him fucking
Spurs
shit.
have fucking Spursed it in the Spursiest way.
Jeff, GP.
Yeah.
It's almost like when we said that they would be no good if they lost either of Son or Kane, and then they lost Kane and they were no good.
No,
that was not a coincidence.
No, because in the past there was always a thing, especially in FPL. Obviously, I know it's under Pochettino, so it's different. We haven't really had it under Mourinho as much. But like, if Kane got injured, you picked up Son instantly because he would just go off the charts, like he really would. But it's just this weird thing at the minute. Like, Spurs keep dropping down the league, and we didn't mention them before. And to be fair, they've got 2 games in hand, but they're still sick. Like, But anyway, we've done that bit. But yeah, FPL, yay! Both my goalkeepers, clean sheets and bonus points. I'm like, fuck, should have just paid bench boost this week.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm through in the cup.
Oh yeah,
I've just had a look. Yeah,
Jesus.
My opponent's got 50 points by the looks of it. So I'm still in the FPL Cup. I've never gone this deep.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, normally... Well, I mean, I didn't qualify this year. Never normally do. Oh, that's nice, mate. Good for you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. But yeah, I was upset when I saw Cancelo and Stones. I brought Stones in this week. Oof. So to have Cancelo and Stones...
Yeah, that's the only thing. I got rid of Stones for this week.
Oh, did you?
Because I had 3 City. I had Cancelo, Stones and Foden.
Right.
And I just thought with City actually, especially after the West Brom game, I thought, well, if City are going to start scoring more goals, I probably want to push the third player up the pitch. So I got rid of Stones, Emile Smith-Rowe and Harry Kane, because 2 out of 3 were injured. And I got in Rudiger, who got clean sheet. Gundogan got 3 points, and then obviously I brought in Calvert-Lewin, who was a bit of a dud, and then playing him instead of Bamford was no many good. So at least, I didn't have to deal with Stones not playing as well as Cancelo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, ultimately, it's worked out well for me because I've got Bamford and Rafinha off the bench. But
yeah, get it, mate. We fucking get it.
Well, to be fair, I only benched Bamford after talking to you on the Slack.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but everyone every week gets lucky benches because of how I spoke. I spoke to Andy Penpraise last week, and he did his bench based on what I said. And then because of that, he beat me in a head-to-head. And now you're listening to me, and then you beat me. So what? I should just stop giving fucking advice, or I should actually start charging for it. Yeah. Patreon.com/Chuck FPL Champion. Give me all your money, and I'll help you beat me. It's not that hard, but... fucking can't make the decisions for myself.
Well, you joke, but patreon.com/milesoffsidepod, you only need $2. You can get on the Slack and get Chuck's brusque offhand advice where he just tells you immediately what to do and possibly calls you a name, and then it seems to work out.
Yeah, but that's the annoying thing. I should really just start doing it for my own team as well, and doing because that was what worked last year. I would make one decision at the start of the week, do it, and then log out, job done.
You think you're overthinking this year, or is it just because you're imparting your wisdom to everyone else that you're thinking about things a little bit more? And
alternatively, you could go even deeper into the overthinking and sign up at the stats robot level, where a spreadsheet would have told you not to captain Son this week.
I knew you were going to crow about that. Fucking hell. I'm aware that it was a punt to captain Son. I went in with eyes open, but it didn't come off. I mean, fuck me. They barely generated any XG against Brighton. I think it's looking at about 0.39 or something ridiculous.
Ugh. I didn't want to captain Son so badly for the stats robots that I ran the captain pool twice. And both times he won.
Stop the count.
Well, the first time I had a typo, so I was like, oh, typo, invalid results.
To be fair, none of the highest owned players really did anything this week. So it's just, that's probably why it all fucking sucked. If we look at the top 2 goalkeepers, well, Martinez kept a clean sheet and Southampton didn't. ? No, they did not. There we go. Justin, they conceded 3 goals. Chilwell didn't play. Cresswell, they lost to Liverpool, and then Stones and Cancelo didn't play.
What about 20, though? Game week 20 was in here, too. How'd you guys do on that one? Does that put you in a better mood, Chuck? Did you do good in game week 20 at least?
No.
Oh, he's in a worse mood now. Sorry.
What are you doing to him?
That was the week that I should have captained Cancelo, because he got 17 points.
17?
Him and Stones were the only people on my team that did anything. Oh, Antonio got a little something there. Yeah. Thanks, Oscar.
And Rafinha got 13 points last week as well.
Yeah, and he came off your bench again.
Did he? Oh, he did, yeah, because James was, I've had a lot of bench luck lately. Lovely old job. I'm happy about that. It looks a bit, last week was a bit, so game week 20, I had Watkins scored as well. Holding on to him's not been too bad. Picks up something every now and then. I'm going to have to make some weird transfers coming up, though, because I'm trying to set myself up for the double in 26 without a wild card. So, I'm going to be making some odd transfers, I think.
Well, Ian, repeat after me.
Mm.
I will not
No, I don't like this, but I'll do it, but we'll see what happens. I will not.
Under any circumstances,
Under any circumstances.
buy a Chelsea FPL asset.
Well, I've already got two. I mean, I need the third,
Okay,
don't I?
sell! You need to sell that shit faster than some GameStop stock.
Diamond hands.
Sell that and sell your AMC and GameStop stock as quick as possible.
Don't sell. Hold.
No,
Diamond hand.
Hold the line.
We're taking it to Wall Street. Hold the line. Bow, now, now, now. Love isn't always on time. Love isn't always on. Every time I read it, I get Toto in my head.
Brilliant. Stay off Reddit, for Christ's sake.
Rudiger, man, 4.5 mil. That way, if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he's German and a centre back.
It's true. If I do that, I've got triple Chelsea defence, though.
Don't do that. No, don't.
Yeah, don't do that. Who are your current two?
Silva and James. So James might
Keep Silva, drop James, because he's going to switch in and out with Aspi and or Callum.
Yeah, I might.
Reece James is 100% starting the next match.
Reece James, actually, sneaky FPL/Chelsea prediction. Reece James is going to end up being the deepest lying central midfielder for Thomas Tuchel. He did it with a center back at Dortmund, and he did it with, I think actually a fullback at PSG. I read so much about him this week, but his central defensive mids are almost always out of position players, and I think Reece James fits the profile in terms of his skill set. And he played there for like a couple of games at center mid once upon a time.
You're going to have a pissed off Jorginho then, aren't you?
Yeah. Maybe he'll grow that goat-looking beard and hair out again.
Hell yeah. That was a look.
Mr. Tumnus.
Looked like evil Spock. So there you go. That was FPL.
Yeah. Right.
We always talk retrospectively. No FPL advice here, guys. Go fuck yourselves.
Well, the problem is it's especially a season like this, it's so personal what you're doing. As I say, I'm going to be making odd transfers that people are going to be like, what you talk about? Because I'm trying to set myself up for a double game week where I don't even know for sure what the fixtures are yet.
Callum Wilson. Just get Callum Wilson.
Just get Callum Wilson.
Newcastle have made the signing of the window, and we should probably talk about that. The January transfer window ends tomorrow. Fuck knows what's going on. Nothing.
Did anybody sign anybody? Genuinely don't remember any big signings.
Oh, fucking hell. How did I not mention that West Ham have signed Jesse Lingard?
Straight into the FPL team, eh, Chuck?
And like West Ham fans are happy about that. You need to have a word with yourselves.
Lingard to the moon.
Have a fucking word with yourself. Signed Ben Rama on a permanent deal. Got Lingard in on loan. Jesus fucking wept. They'll never learn. But yeah, Newcastle brought in a new first team coach and someone who does the tactical advice, because Steve Bruce famously doesn't do tactics, and now also doesn't take questions from the media.
Just does what he wants.
Gammon face. So Newcastle actually pressing and attacking again. Just get Callum Wilson, because he's horrible when you don't own him.
There you go.
Cue the music!
Ian, you have to sing the explanation while the song is going. Explain the game.
And I'm going to explain the game, Oscar. Just shut the fuck up. Just let it breathe.
Now the people can't hear the song because you're knocking over it.
Let it breathe! The good thing is when you play the music, I can't hear Oscar talk, so it's good.
Oh, brilliant. As I was going to say, I've only got a few seconds to fade this out now. We're going to play the Bluffer. So the Bluffer is where I ask a question with multiple answers, and the boys have to bid on how many of those answers they can get.
7.
And okay, fine, I'll take that.
First bid 7.
It's not usually a blind auction, but we can do that.
Oh, we could do that. We could do blind auctions.
Ooh, we should try that actually. For a whole, like, we each take turns and just say, like, okay, the category is sports. And there's 17 items. I bid 4. Oh, that would be interesting.
You know how defensive I'm going to play that.
Yeah, that's true.
I bid 1. Let's just see what the other person
I bid 0.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Then maybe if you win that week, you get 2 points overall. If you go blind for all your bids.
Yeah,
I'm amenable to that. This sounds like an off-air conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, right, so it's my turn to host, as I say. The current scores are Chuck on 4, Oscar on 5, and me on 4. You're really not happy when you're losing, are you?
Well, that, plus we're just all so fucking average that we, like... It's almost like we just go in a circle. Like we just.
Chuck, if everybody is good, it looks like everybody is average until you go to the Champions League and English teams are the best teams.
Okay, so what are our expected bluffers? What's our expected bluffs? Who is the best bluffer? Because the league table isn't showing it. I need underlying numbers.
I think it's Ian. Ian's conversion rate is definitely the highest. So.
Ian's a Burnley of the bluffer.
Yeah, I'm definitely the Burnley. I fully accept that.
Oh, Chuck's the Mourinho?
Chuck's, well, yeah. What, driven by malice, yeah.
Crystal malice.
Okay, right, let's go. So, Chuck, I'll give you the first bid. And
3.
I
7.
need... Stop with the blind bidding. I need the 12 official Disney princesses.
Oh.
Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Those aren't my 3 answers, by the way. 6.
7.
There we go, I set that up.
Thank you for that.
8. You said 12, right?
Yeah, there are 12 official Disney princesses, as in there is a franchise of toys and so forth. There are 12 that Disney call official.
Take it at 8. I think I know, but I'm not in the mood to do a category, so it's all yours at 8. Do you know 8? Are you going to destroy this? Did I let you have it too early? Son of a bitch! I definitely let him have it too early. Damn it!
I don't know. There's grey area here. There's grey area.
There is some. Yeah. That's what I'm.
Yeah, because
that's what I fear.
It's whether I remember what their names are. That's the game.
That is the game.
I'll start with Snow White. What are you shaking your head for, bunches? Fucking hell. The OG princess. Cinderella. Aurora, or Sleeping Beauty. Ariel, Little Mermaid. Princess Jasmine must be there from Aladdin.
3 more.
What is the name of the one from Princess and the Frog? Fuck's sake, I've never seen it. I'm going to say Merida from Brave.
That's a good pull.
Why am I going blank on so many of these? Fuck!
Because I could name 9 too.
Yeah, I know.
I want to watch him squirm.
Now it's whether I'm gonna say Moana.
Very nice. Very good.
Very
pull.
good. One more.
And this is the problem because it is going to be the one from Princess and the Frog, and I can't remember her name. I know there's a chameleon in it called Pascal.
Partial credit.
Fucking Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Hey, there it is.
There we go.
Tiana is what you were looking for.
Thank you.
Yes.
Would that have been a ding, Tiana?
Tiana would have been a ding, absolutely.
Pocahontas?
Elsa?
Elsa is not, no.
Oh, see? Ooh, wow.
Yeah, Pocahontas is in there.
Yeah.
Mulan.
Mulan's not a princess. Get the fuck out of here.
No, Mulan's as a Disney princess, yeah.
Official Disney princess.
She's not a princess. She does not have that title.
And Rapunzel from Tangled.
Oh. So Elsa, would you have said Elsa, Oscar?
I might have. Depends. I don't know what order I would have gone in. There's no I love when you give me things that are chronological. That helps my brain so much. When it's just a list, I'm like, I don't know. Do I go alphabetical? Do I go chronological by movie?
I'm really close to just starting to write these down because I keep getting annoyed with myself week in, week out when I lose stupidly.
So 11 of the 12 Disney princesses are in their universes princesses or the cultural equivalent. Most of them are daughters of kings. Pocahontas and Moana, daughters of tribal chiefs. Cinderella, Belle, and Tiana are by marriage to a prince. And the lone exception is Mulan, the daughter of a gentleman who remains unmarried. Mm. So, yeah, she's the exception, but they are all official.
You're not fucking with Mulan.
Oh, no, she's the one I would want to fight the least. Probably. No. I don't know, Jasmine's kind of scary, too.
What an odd conversation. Which one of the Disney
But it's quite
princesses?
funny that your qualifier is literally 12 Disney princesses. 11 out of 12 of these are princesses or what would be considered.
Meanwhile, Elsa, who is a literal prince, or I guess is she a queen? She would be the queen, Elsa, right? She's not the princess anymore.
Yeah.
Her sister would be the princess.
Yeah, but Cinderella becomes the queen? Question mark?
Well, she's married to a prince. I mean, I didn't see Cinderella too, so...
This time it's personal. Cinderella 2, back in the habit.
Okay, so Chuck wins the point.
Thank you.
Let's go with, for Oscar's first bid.
Oscar losing on the Disney question, that's going to stick in his craw as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be off my game for the rest of this. Honestly, I was banking on you just like making a mistake.
If you'd have said 9, I 100% would have said 10 as well. 100%.
I know. No, I know that. I know. We were going to, if I had kept going, we would have gone all the way up.
No, I don't think I would have gone past that, because then that would have been 12, and that would have been dumb.
Right, so for this question, Oscar's bid.
7.
There are 20 nationalities that have contributed Premier League hat-tricks. So I'm looking for the top 20. So the 20th, that takes us down to nations who have contributed 3 hat-tricks to the Premier League.
Oh, okay. 7.
Yeah?
Fuck's sake, even after all that.
Yeah. He was going to go 7, especially when there's
Yeah.
20. Just comes down to guessing countries, doesn't it? 9.
That is the game, yeah.
He manages to really distill down to the point, doesn't he, so often? That's
Hey,
why I like
listen.
listening to him.
Sometimes we get first-time listeners, guys.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go 10.
11.
Yeah, I'll go 12.
You're going 12. I'll take Oscar's lucky 13.
Ooh.
Do you want to take my lucky 14?
No, I don't.
Take 15 then.
Nah, I'm doing the Ian this week. Go on, have it at 13. I trust you to mess this up.
Okay, I'm literally just going to guess countries. I have nothing else to bid it on. This will be bad if this is a dong first time out. England.
England have contributed 155 hat-tricks to the Premier League.
Should do, fucking hell. France.
In 4th, 17 hat-tricks.
Okay. Netherlands.
Joint 2nd, 18 hat-tricks.
Okay, so also second will be Argentina then.
Argentina? Why? Because you definitely know that Argentina have done 18.
Well, Sergio Aguero's got the record, hasn't he, now?
True, actually, yeah.
That's
Fair
why.
point.
And you probably got Tevez.
Yeah, good point. So you've got the top 4.
Top 4. Okay, let's think of other good players. Uruguay. Suarez.
11th with 6 hat-tricks.
Okay, and now I'm fucked. Player, what scores, many goals. Italy.
Yeah, joint 13th with 5 hat-tricks contributed.
And you said the lowest one was 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 more countries, Chuck. 7 to go.
Who gets given match balls a lot?
And if they wanted to take care of them, that's code MOP20 at manscaped.com. Be gentle to those balls.
Available in many of these nations.
Stop derailing me, you pricks. I'll say, Portugal.
Joint 20th with 3.
Ooh.
Spain.
5th with 11.
5 more.
Belgium. Fucking hell.
Joint 7th, 7 hat-tricks.
I don't think many players have played in England enough, but Germany.
They're one of the joint 20th as well, 3 hat-tricks.
See,
Oof.
that was close.
That's really not a lot. Yeah, that's less than I would have guessed.
How many are on joint 20th? Like 4.
5 are on joint 20th, and you've named
2, I think.
2, Germany and Portugal.
Okay, and I said Spain, didn't I?
You said Spain already, yeah?
So I've said England, France, Spain, Germany, Portugal, Italy, Netherlands, Belgium. Fuck it, yeah. I think no, abort. Ivory Coast.
There it is. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ivory Coast. Yeah, joint 7th with 7 hat-tricks, yeah.
Okay, how many
2
more?
more.
2 more.
North Macedonia.
Right, these are 2 that I've been holding on to for a while. I'm just going to go with them for the last one. I'm going to say Egypt.
Joint 20th, 3 hat-tricks contributed.
Senegal. Oh, this is such a good moment.
Chuck wins.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, dear. Senegal.
Sadio Mane.
Joint 13th with 5 hat-tricks contributed.
Any chance the US are on there? I know at least 2 people have done it.
No, US are not. Let's have I can go further down. Yeah, United States have contributed 2.
Wow.
So just missed out on the top 20.
I bet there's, because obviously, hat-tricks, it's, if you went to 3 and there was 5 tied, there was probably like 20 nations on 2 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's probably
there
a whole lot.
was 8 nations on 2.
What about Korea?
Which one?
Yeah, all those North Korean players. South Korea have only 1.
Oh.
And it would have been Son this year, not this year, this season, would it have been?
No, I'm sure he's had a hat-trick before this season.
Well, he's only had 1, so
Yeah, he's only had 1.
Oh, wow.
You said South Korea, you only had 1. Well, if it even was Son, I can't... Although...
Yeah, well, there was that game where he scored 4, wasn't there? So, it says 20th of September 2020, so I guess we could find out, but I can't be bothered. So, let's have a look at the other nations you missed. You missed the 6th place one, who had 9 hat-tricks. That was Norway.
See, when I was going to go for an answer, I was going to go for Iceland just because of Ida Gudjonsson.
Iceland are not in the top 20, no.
What about Denmark?
Denmark are not there either.
Wow, so Norway,
Tough category, man.
Yeah.
You got the exact right bid, because I think one more you would have.
What other countries did we miss?
Nigeria offered 7 as well, as did Scotland.
That makes sense, but...
Tied with Uruguay, there was Wales with 6 hat-tricks. Then we get down to 5. You've got Italy and Senegal. You missed Ireland and Bulgaria.
Wow, so I literally could have just gone for the home nations.
Yeah, you could
have.
I
guess there's a long history of, the Premier League was only global for, the last, 30, 40 years. Before that, it was a lot of
right.
players.
The Premier League's only existed for the last 29.
But, you know what I mean, the top flight.
Yeah, but... No, but that was the thing. In my head, it was just players that I knew had scored lots. That's why you could just go around it. That was the way to go with that.
Yeah.
Good job, Chuck. That was very good.
Yay!
Yeah. And there was also Brazil, Russia, Trinidad and Tobago, all on 4. And then
Dwight York.
On 3, the only 2 you missed, I think, was Togo and Zimbabwe.
Adebayor and... wonder who Zimbabwe is.
Well, the last Zimbabwe hat-trick was 2008. So, Chuck wins. So, what does that take the scores to? That takes the scores to...
5-5-4.
5-5-4.
Which means that next week, if you win, Ian, it's 5-5-5.
Yeah.
That was not good listening, but I'm happy with that performance. And sometimes that's just what you need. You just need to grind it out, baby.
Grind out a performance.
Yeah, maybe I am the Mourinho of the Bluffer.
My attempt to be a Burnley Ian did not at all work.
No,
don't go against the grain, man. You got to go. You got to go with what's natural. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there we go.
You're
wins
right.
is wins.
I don't know who my best first 11 are. Clearly.
No, clearly not. Certainly not your best started 7 anyway.
I'm just glad I was able to bid 7 both times because that was perfect.
Blind Bluffer. Coming to stores near you. Right. Should we do some fixtures, Chuck?
Fixtures, yeah, we can do fixtures, Chuck. But by the time we record again, we'll have done another 2 weeks again. So,
yay!
But Ian's getting great at getting this hashtag content out very quickly, and we applaud his tremendous work making this sound good. Best. So Tuesday, 2nd of February. God, what a time to be alive. The worst game possibly ever. Sheffield United versus West Brom, and Wolves Arsenal at the same time. We've got Man United, Southampton, and Newcastle Palace. Fucking hell.
Ooh, dear.
That is a bad...
What a time to play Newcastle, eh?
Yeah. If there was a time that you could go out on a Tuesday and do something, that would... you would. Wednesday, 3rd of February, we've got Burnley against City. Big test for old Peppy Pep. Pepsi and Shirley. Fulham versus Leicester. Come on, Fulham. Leeds, Everton. Get rid of Calvert-Lewin, prick. Aston Villa, West Ham.
Off the line.
Liverpool, Brighton. And on Thursday, Oscar, you got to be feeling pretty good about this now. Spurs against Chelsea.
I told you I don't care about results for the next month or so, and I genuinely mean it. And you guys are gonna we're gonna lose to Spurs, and it's gonna be fine. It's just not about results right now.
Yeah,
I genuinely mean that.
So, similarly, you can shut your noise then when Chelsea do perform well and win, and you go, suck it, Jeff!
Because results don't matter.
If I choose not to be upset, that's my choice. I'm still going to try to upset other fans if we do good things. And they can choose to be upset or not upset by that.
I did really
that's their choice.
What I found funny was Tuchel after the 0-0 going, yes, but we had 16 possession recoveries in the final third. And how, you get football perverts on Twitter that are so annoyed when, it's going on stats and focus and they feel like, all they do in interviews and stuff is so generic. And then a manager who actually cares about the stat side do it and it'll go, no one cares about those. Pick a lane, guys. Pick a lane.
Tuchel's big into XG. I'm hoping he mentions it at some point. Oh, my God. He was using XG, before it was cool at Mainz. They were a relegation team that he managed to bring mid-table. Anyway, sorry. Listen to the Patreon episode this week. I'm going to go all into Tuchel.
You've committed yourself now, Oscar.
Yeah.
Well, he likes XG, so, that's all I need.
That's all Oscar needs. So
that was always my first question on dates. First date, first question. So what do you think about XG?
Jesus Christ. As I've said it before and I'll say it again. Thank the Lord for Emily.
Praise be to the Lords on high. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here. So, plenty of football action going on. Sort out your FPL teams. Rudiger and Callum Wilson. That's literally it. That's it. Say goodbye to the Prince of XG.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye to Super Producer.
I thought I was going to be a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Wait, should Ian be saying goodbye to me and should I be saying goodbye to Ian?
Don't question it. Thanks, Nate Whitten, producer, girlfriend, haver, defender of the realm. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and bye-bye.
Well, all right, then let's... Chuck, I won't make you linger.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Well, Chuck, I won't make you all right, Chuck, well, I won't make you... Son of a bitch! You fucking...
I'm not even doing anything.
All right, Chuck, well, I won't make you linger too long on...